Okay, today we're playing a Hammer and Anvil deployment, Emperor's Will, which is 2 objectives, 1 in each deployment zone. And we'll be back with the armies in just a second. Okay, we're playing a 2,000 point game today. It's going to be between Eldar and their Tau allies, and Dark Angels and their Blood Angel allies. On the Dark Angel side, you've got two Blood Angels assault squads with Sang Priest, a unit of I think that's it. And then a heavy support dreadnought and a drop pod, and they have a Reclusiarch in Terminator armor. And then with the Dark Angels, you have 3 troop choice Terminators, with Sang Priest stuck in all of them, and then Belial here with one of the troop choices. And then on the other side, you have Eldrad with 2 units of snipers, Pathfinders. Then you have a unit of Warwalkers, 2 Wraith Lords, and a unit of Warp Spiders that are going to be deep striking. And on the Tau side, there's a Shasa with Bodyguard, unit of Pathfinders, a Hammerhead, and a unit of Fire Warriors. The Angels are going first unless I can seize initiative, which I failed to do, so we will be back at the end of turn 1 with the Angels.
All right, Dark Angels, turn 1. First turn, these guys came in, and the drop out with the Dreadnought came in. And
Terminators came in because of their special rule.
Yep, Terminators came in because of their special rule. Shooting, these guys shot at this and did nothing. Those guys shot with 3 missile launchers, shot at this and did nothing. And Dreadnought flamered into those Pathfinders, knocked out 7, but the twin-linked autocannon missed twice.
Yep.
So that's it for turn 1, Blood Angels. We'll be back with Dark Eldar. Or, not Dark Eldar, Eldar and Tau.
Okay, end of the Eldar Tau turn. Really just took care of the stuff that was close for the most part. The Warwalkers moved around and managed to take out the Dreadnought, which earned me first blood. Then combined shooting from the Pathfinders, the Devilfish, the Suits here, the Warriors here managed to knock down 3 of his 6 Terminators. And then I assaulted in with my 2 Wraith Lords and managed to knock out the last one. That was it, really. I still have to do my assault move here, but other than that, that was it for Eldar turn. We'll be back with Blood Angels and Dark Angels.
Alright, Dark Angel and Blood Angels. These Terminators came in from reserves. Deep strike, actually did not scatter, and they just landed there. These guys rallied and ran into the ruins there. And those guys kind of spread it out to just avoid that big template that he launches. Everything else in the shooting phase, they shot at this here, and actually it's blowing up, it's not there. And killed one guy here and nothing over there. And shooting from over there, killed 1 suit and took out a drone. Do they have to pass the leadership? And here's the leadership. They pass. So that's it for Blood Angels, Dark Angels, or Dark Angels, Blood Angels, and we'll be back with Eldar.
End of Eldar turn 2. My Warp Spiders came in for deep strike, hit, and then in the rest of my movement phase, everything kind of shuffled around, getting better line of sight on this Terminator unit that deep struck in. In the shooting phase, basically everything over here shot, and I managed to knock them down to the Sang Priest, the Reclusiarch, and a single Thunder Hammer. And then on the other side, my Warp Spiders shot into the Devastators, knocked down 3 of them, and then with their assault move, they jumped back. So that was it for my turn. We will be back at the end of the Angel's turn 3.
Alright, Dark Angel, Blood Angel, movement. Those Terminators move closer to Eldrad and his unit. And movement from here, the space, from these Assault Marines. And everything else pretty much just stayed where they were. Oh, the Assault Cannon guy, no, the Missile Launcher guy moved over to get clear line of sight on the Wraith Lord there. So, shooting, those 2 missile launchers shot here, one wound, and that's it for shooting. Oh, and then my Recluse Yark shot at the squad there, but there was no wounds. Assault, they assaulted in, 1 combat by 4, but they stuck around. And over here they tried to assault, they rolled a 5 instead of a 6, and did not manage to get in. So that's it for Blood Angels, Dark Angels. We'll be back with Eldar.
Okay, end of Eldar turn 3. The Wraith Lords moved closer to this combat. These moved up to take some shots against some Space Marines. These guys stayed put. These guys stayed put. These guys moved up just enough to make sure everybody was in range of their shots. In the shooting phase, these guys shot and killed two of the Space Marines here. Shooting from these Crisis Suits, the Warwalkers over there, and the Railgun, all at those, killed 4, I think,
Yeah.
4 or 5, something like that. And then in the combat over here, my Wraith Lord just barely didn't make it in, so we were forced to duel it out the way we were. No wounds caused by the Eldar, 2 wounds caused by the Space Marines, but we did stick it out in combat, so we're holding strong there. That was it. We'll be back with turn 4 for the Space Marines.
Alright, Blood Angels turn 4. Alright, these guys moved closer. And those guys went back. And
Assault Marines went back.
yeah. And actually that missile launcher guy moved 6 inches to get range on those guys over there. Shooting, they shot at that guy there, pinned it, and that guy's snap firing now. And one of these guys died. And
This missile launcher.
from that missile launcher, and that's it. Oh, and then assault, they killed the last remaining Pathfinder, and Eldrad is still alive. So we'll be back with Eldar turn 4.
Okay, end of Eldar turn 4. Wraith Lords moved up. This unit moved up. The Warp Spiders moved basically an inch away from the Space Marines. Then in the shooting phase, the Warp Spiders wiped out the Space Marines. A bunch of shots were taken from these guys, the Crisis Suits, and these guys, but I didn't manage to wound any Terminators. And then the Wraith Lord got into combat and knocked out the Sang Priest, took a wound from the Thunder Hammer in return. And then the Eldrad and the Recluse Yark were still duking it out. Recluse Yark took 1 more wound. Eldrad's still sitting pretty with all of his. So that was it. We'll be back at the end of of Space Marine turn 5.
Alright, Dark Angel, Blood Angel turn 5. Assault Marines came over here, tried to take some shots here. Did manage to kill 2 people. Missile Launcher got another one, and the Cyclone Missile Launcher got another. They did pass their leadership, so they're fine. And then the assaults there, Eldrad took down my Chappie, my Recluse Yark, and my last Terminator with the Thunderhammer still alive. So that's it for Dark Angels, Blood Angels. We'll be back with Eldar.
Eldar turn 5. Let's see, the Wraith Lord that wasn't in combat moved closer. These guys moved forward. Eldar turn 5. The Wraith Lord that wasn't in combat moved closer to the remaining Terminator. These Crisis Suits moved forward. The Warp Spiders moved up towards the Assault Marines, and the War Walkers moved forward. In the shooting phase, the War Walkers and the Crisis Suits shot into the Terminators here. The War Walkers did nothing, but the Crisis Suits managed to knock out, two? The Warp Spiders shot into the Assault Marines, killed 2 of them, and then killed 3 of them, and then assaulted and wiped out the last 2 in close combat. And then over on this side, the Wraith Lord assaulted in, got his Hammer of Wrath, finally managed to get a wound with it, and the Terminator failed his 2+ armor save. So he died before I even had a chance to sway.
The Wraith Lord kicked him.
Yep, kicked him in the crotch and he died. But that was it for Eldar turn 5. We rolled. We are going on to turn 6, so we'll be back at the end of Space Marine turn 6. End of turn 6 altogether, Space Marines and Eldar. In the Space Marines turn, Belial broke off from the Terminators and assaulted my Warp Spiders, killed 3 of them. The Exarch broke. And then in my turn, he failed to reform and continued running. The Terminators broke off, came over here, attempted to assault into my battle suits that were about there. We're just short. And then in my turn, my Crisis Suits and the War Walkers, between the 2 of them, managed to wipe all 3 of them out. So that was it for turn 6. We're not doing a turn 7 because at this point there's no point to doing it. It was a victory for the Eldar, a total of 5. First Blood, Line Breaker, and I'm holding my point to 0. So that was it. We'll be back with MVP, LVP in just a second.